Our mission is to encourage and uplift women to birth their ministry and accomplish their mission. Together, we are the difference in action for positive change. Two humanitarians, Drs. Anita Mckaney and Tomesha Walker, are changing the world by giving voice to women around the globe, encouraging authors, marriages, mothers and wives to live out their ministry on mission. Join us Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and spread the word as we reach out our goal of making a difference in the lives of 200,000 women. Welcome to the show.
Well, here we are back again. Hello. This is Dr. Tomesha Walker, and also coming with you, Dr. Anita Mckaney, the co-host of Ministry on Mission, and we're extremely excited to have with us today Ambassador Dr. Vanessa Rosser. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure always. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. It's an honor to have you here. And guys, it is time for the after show. You know how we do it. We have already had our amazing live interview, and we're so glad that you all joined us for that. So now it's time for us to kick back a little bit and have this after show conversation. Okay, so let's go. We started talking about the new release. Oh my gosh. Go ahead now, Dr. Vanessa. You have just released another book you told us on the show.
Yes. 144 Open Doors, Keys to the Kingdom.
Open doors. Come on.
Yes, open. Listen, we have to understand that God is always open for us, right? So his doors are always open for us. It's for us to walk through those doors. We have to understand we possess the keys. We just don't know how to use them.
Sis, you said we possess the keys.
We just do not know how to use them.
Oh, so that's some of what we talked about in the earlier episode. You guys have to check it out. We actually started to dig into the chapters and talk about the specific keys, the types of doors that there are available. And then she had the nerve and the just fully unmitigated gall to sit there and break each chapter down to give us also the steps and the things that are encumbered in there. And y'all know I found one of my favorite words within her chapters. She spoke about hope, y'all, and I had to talk about that in her episode and how it just impacts our lives, because you know that means so much to me to hear someone speak to that, and the fact that God provides that for us in every area. It changes our view on life. And so when we can walk through the open doors that God already has for us, and as she so eloquently said, and use the keys that he's provided for us, it changes how we look at the world that is around us. So I must say, listen, y'all, we got a preview copy of what she has coming out to y'all, and it's the bomb. It is so good. You all have to get out there and get this book. Among the many others that she talked about, my heart just goes thump, 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 thump. I love it. I love what you have provided for us in this season. I do want to ask you a quick question about something we didn't fully go into in the first episode, though. You mentioned to us, amongst all of these international books that you have that you are selling, there's some children's books in there. Now, we didn't really talk about this, but wait a minute. Hold up. Children's books too? Ma'am. Okay. Can you just give us just a smidgen, just sprinkle a little bit on us from the children's book?
Well, so, that was also one of the downloads that I received as well, that children needed motivation. And it was during, the time, I want to say 2021, 2022, after, coming through, right, the era that we were in. And you see where motivation, especially with our girls and boys, was like at an all-time low.
Mm,
And it was, it was just something, just simple motivational books,
mhm,
for, kids to, say, well, I am my name, right? So the names of the book is I am Abigail and I am David, right? Do
mhm,
you know I am, right? And throughout the book, tells, what I'm saying, they share, I am Abigail, I like math, right? I love to do math, or I like to play with friends, or I like to, eat my vegetables or my fruit, or I like to go for walks, I like to ride my bike, so different things like that, just
Yes.
just to have a reference point, for children, I'm saying,
Mhm,
to have that reflection on themselves, right? So that was
mhm,
something that was, and again, even when I read the children's book, I'm like, oh, it's like a breath of fresh air, even though it's an easy read book.
mhm,
But the purpose of the book is to prompt the motivational spirit, in
mm.
kids, right?
I love
Or
that.
our young, our young adults, because like I said, it's, even though it's an easy read, you find the motivation behind the book.
Mm. I
Mhm,
do understand that. I understand that. When I wrote my book series, my children's book series with my kids,
mhm.
almost 7 years ago now, it was along the same lines, just of wanting to encourage them.
Yes.
I could see that in general, like, we would talk about things that would be encouraging, but as a
Mhm,
whole, what I would hear, what they were sharing from the kids at school, what I was seeing around them,
mhm.
even in social media, on the TV, it was not things that were really encouraging their
Right.
spirit and their soul. And so that's exciting to hear that you have such empowering things, right? Even when you talk about what they're eating, to help them to really open their eyes to
Yeah.
the fact of having those good things there, and them being children that like those things and can have those things and enjoy those things. So I like that. I like
Yes,
that a lot. That's really
yes,
good.
yes, yes. We have to make sure we bring encouragement to our kids from all sides, right?
Yes.
So from family, from school, from outside, from inside, from the things that we eat,
Yes.
from the things that we learn, so just empowering our kids on, we have to empower the full person, right? Not just one aspect. So we have to make sure that we hone in on that. I don't think we do enough of that.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. It takes me to having the opportunity to share a platform with you, as I had an opportunity to hear you talk and to hear you speak concerning us and what we're birthing into this world and the places that we need to be as women. And so I must take this just a smidgen of not even really a caveat, because it's just a part of the eloquence that you provide every time you open your mouth and every time
Oh,
you share with us about things that are near and dear to your heart. And as you take topics of interest, like where we had this most recent time at
mhm.
the UN, where we were able to meet, but then where we were also able to partake in a parallel event. And so hearing you speak was absolutely amazing. You rocked the room. So I
Oh,
give you your flowers right now while you are living, and just say congratulations on giving a powerful, a moving, and an amazing speech at the UN parallel event for accelerating women with hope and with health and with peace. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
oh, it's my pleasure. As I shared before, one of the things that I asked God for was the ability to be able to prosper other people. And I
Mm,
think that that's one of the gifts that I have, no matter what it is that I'm doing, even if I'm receiving something, my give back is to be able to prosper and to motivate, empower others in the room. So and that's what I love to do. That's what I absolutely love to do. If anybody asks me to speak, I'm okay. What's the topic? What's so and so? Because I already know the angle that I'm coming from. So
Hmm.
that's my focus. That's my focus.
Well, I'll say, I knew you were dynamic. I knew you were dynamic. And so having you on the platform, I didn't know everything. And when you came in there, let me just tell you, right? You rocked the room. And I'm sure with the feedback that you received and with the information that I heard and with the commentary that people were giving immediately and throughout the rest of the time together for that, what, 2 hour parallel event, they were still referring to your speech. And I said, oh my, all the way into the end,
Mhm.
into the end of the parallel event, people were referring to your reference and your title of taking a seat and
Mhm.
talking about us. And another reason why I think that God has us talking about this here in this moment is because the women that we speak to don't always get the pat on the back, the encouragement, right? The motivation and the push to say, step forward and be the woman that God has called you to be. Sit in the places where God has called you to sit. Step into the rooms where God has called you to be. And so to hear you do that speech rocked many of us to our core and
Mhm.
reminded us of where God called us to be, right? The doors that He has opened for us to walk through, but that we have to choose
Mhm.
and walk through them and sit at the tables that He has already prepared for us. Ma'am, I have
Mhm.
to tell you, you did an amazing job in front of an international audience. Yet again, I know it's something that you're probably used to and do all the time and have done since, and I know for sure, since you were a young child.
Mhm.
But I tell you, to sit in the audience and to have an opportunity to be on stage with you, ma'am, it was an honor. It was an honor. If there's anything from that you would like to share, please feel free. If any of you would like to catch her speech or any of the other speeches, they were amazing. You can go to bit.ly/CSW, the number 6, the number 8, and the word birth, BIRTH, CSW 68 birth. And you can see her speech as well as the speeches of all of us who were there on the platform as well. Ma'am, is there anything you would like to share with us from that core rocking and soul snatching reminder of how to sit where God has called us to be?
Well, I first, let me say thank you. I never have any idea, how I would reach people, right? In the things that I say. Sometimes when we read or reflect on what it is that we're going to say, we're like, okay, it's just something ordinary, right? So I'm always, you know, graceful and thankful, when people receive what they needed to receive from it. Because
Mm.
then I know that my laboring, right, was not in vain, right,
Yeah.
in delivering what I needed to deliver. And,
Mhm.
and from that, I just want to say that never be afraid to show who you are, right?
Mhm.
My first performance, right? I'll say that, or the first stage that I spoke on was at the United Nations when I was in the third or fourth grade. And I remember winning a contest where I spoke on world hunger.
Mm.
That was my first experience at speaking. So I knew when I began to reflect where God has taken me from back then, I forgot all about it. And it didn't dawn on me until when I realized, wait a minute, I've been here before. This is nothing new for me. So why am I acting like this is something that I'm starting over from scratch when I've been there and done this? So one of the, if I can say anything, to motivate anyone, I would say is, don't act as if this is your first time. You've done this before. Pick up where you left off.
Oh.
Right? Believing, having faith that God is going to carry you from there.
Come on.
So, there's not a lot to be said. We say less sometimes, right? And we do more. So just as simple as that.
Yes, listen. We hear you, right? Now, we heard what you said. I'm telling y'all, go listen to her. Go listen, okay? In tears, people taking action. Believe me when I tell you, go listen. Go listen. Then she also had the nerve on the show, y'all, to lay out and talk about downloads in the earlier show. And then to go in to talk about her other books. And listen, I can't give you, because y'all know after shows are short. We do super quick. I can't give you all of what she was dishing out in there, but I'm telling you, don't miss out. Don't miss out on the blessings, the doors that will be shown to you that are already opened, and the keys that are released to you in that episode. Don't miss it. Something I did not get to say in the last episode, but that I will say as we get ready to round out now, is congratulations, as I know you have just received yet another award when we were there in New York and are preparing for more. So I want to say, amazing woman of God, thank you so much for gracing us with your time, for gracing us with your knowledge, or as you call it, the downloads that God has provided for you. Thank you for inviting us in and giving us an opportunity to receive the blessings of the Lord that have come from the abundance that God has poured into your life, and that has become an overflow for us to gain and to learn and to grow within. So thank you so much for being here with us. Before we head out today, is there something that you would like to leave us with today or remind us about before we head out into our world?
I just want to say, always stay true to who you are, because if you are leaning towards being or mimicking someone else, there will be no trace of a legacy for someone to be you. So always be who you are.
So from a amazing woman leaving a legacy, thank you for that awesome advice. You guys, make sure that you continue to leave your legacy as you start your ministry and finish the mission that God has tasked all of us to do. Make sure that you guys also remember to grab your tickets and join us for the Launching Leaders Conference 2024. Just as 2023, we are going to knock it out of the park again, and we're excited to have you there. If we hear from enough people, we might also be opening up a virtual ticket option. But right now, we have a limited number of in-person tickets that are already flying out of the door, and we would love to see you there. So thank you so much again for joining us, Ambassador Dr. Vanessa Rosser. We thank you so much for being here yet again. So guys, thanks for joining us here today, and we will see you on the next show from Doctors Anita Mckaney and Tomesha D. Walker. Thank you for joining us on Ministry on Mission. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Blessings.
Thank you for joining Ministry on Mission TV. On behalf of Drs. Anita Mckaney and Tomesha D. Walker, we invite you to connect in the community and online at Ministry on Mission. Here at Ministry on Mission TV, we equip and encourage women to start their ministry and finish the mission. Remember,
Isaiah 40:3. Prepare on purpose.
Mark 1 and 3. Let's hear your voice.